Okay, people. This is some evidence I've just found on a website called www.essenespirit.com, and it reads like this. After I've had a cup of tea, the history of those royal families, and right, I've had my cup of tea. I'll read a little bit. The comprehension, I'm finding it difficult. The comprehension of certain historical beings can prove to be truly beneficial to man's evolution, education, and internal formation. My opinion is that the cosmic intelligence generates historical beings in order to bring a divine message to humanity. This message goes beyond the life of a single individual, or even that of a nation, to pertain to a comprehensive work. When the work is finished, the evolution of a cycle is terminated and another cycle can begin. The more we progress towards the outcome, the more history is known in its entirety. For some, it is only coincidence and the fruit of chance. For others, it is the work of the divine wisdom and the book of high knowledge. History talks about man's free will and his being torn between two opposite complementary forces, death and life. The shadows of false knowing and the light of knowledge, the children of hatred and those of love. The one who was called the Virgin because of her inner purity, her mastery, and her divine wisdom, was a woman who made the scales of history lean towards the side of the children of light. The Virgin is a historical personage, and to understand her, one must place her back into her cultural context. She was part of the fraternity of the Essenes. She was born in the bosom of this fraternity and was raised in accordance with their mysteries and their particular initiation. Her entire life, therefore, had been dedicated to serving the knowledge of the divine. The Essenes considered themselves as the custodian people of the alliance with God and his spiritual hierarchy. The goal of their entire life was to keep this alliance alive through consecrated human beings. This alliance was as real for them as fire, air, water, or the earth are for us. Just as a contemporary man can verify the accuracy of the earth's fertility by planting a seed in it and watching it grow, an essene could ascertain the reality of the alliance through the celebration of the mysteries. The goal of these mysteries was to form prophets, that is, beings capable of sensing, feeling, or knowing the spiritual world and the will of the Eternal Father. Not all of them succeeded in becoming prophets, but each one worked hard to it according to his own means, and they all participated in a communal work, that of making the divine triumph in humanity. There were prophets of different categories, and those that the fraternity sought to give birth to within its bosom were the great spiritual masters, those having the power to sow the world. The technique of essene initiation consisted in plunging deep inside oneself to find again the source of divine existence, which then allowed one to recognize in the inner level and also around, in the outer level, the living and divine water which animates everything. This water was called the blood of the Lamb, the blood of the prophets, of the spiritual masters, of the great sages of the fraternity, and of the people of God. The Essenes considered themselves to be the guardians of this spiritual blood, and it is through its intermediary that they succeeded in keeping alive the alliance with the divine. It was a whole state of mind, a culture, that is very difficult to put into words now and match today's mentality. It is this state of mind, voluntarily cultivated, that opened up the doors of the spiritual world to them. Thus, an Essene was conscious of belonging to a people, a tradition, a lineage. It is only when he felt himself in harmony with this lineage that he could really find his place and his fulfillment as an individual amid the community. An Essene could not reach fulfillment outside the lineage of light. Whatever he did in his individual life had to be linked to the global task. Some cultivated the soil, others were craftsmen, others therapists or teachers. But all of them worked, in one way or another, for the ensemble and the common goal. The Virgin was born as an Essene,